thing to do. That would save me almost $10,000 a month if I remove the office. But then on the flip side, what's the cost of that? Right? What do I do with my printer? We have our own printer because I do so much printing. So does that come to my house? Do I have a helper come to my house to print and fold? Is my wife going to be okay with some stranger at the desk, right? Or at our front table folding and stuffing mailers and envelopes? So there's just all these questions that have to go in there. Ad spend, are we getting the most out of our vendors? They have to survive too, but are we using the right vendors? Are we putting our advertising in the right places? Are you getting a good return out of it? Do you expect to in the future? You got to weigh those things. I'm getting ready to do a big event. My Christmas tree event cost me a lot of money. And that sounds crass, but it costs a lot of money. I also get a massive return out of it. So I looked at putting it on the table of, do we do this year? Our clients expect it. They like it. It's a huge event. We learned so much about what's happened in our clients' lives of that we're going to go ahead and do it, even though it's a big line item expense. So you just have to weigh those things and play that red light, green light and know that, okay, now maybe isn't the time to do extra spending, but you don't cut it out of your marketing. You don't cut it out of whatever marketing or advertising you do. You don't cut that. You cut everything else first. I think that's a downward spiral. If you cut that will end up hurting you 6 months from now, a year from now, you'll regret. I am really excited to see the clients, my buyers, my sellers, my investors, people who are doing things right now, counter to culture, counter to what the media says, that I think in 5 years are going to look back and be so incredibly thankful that they made moves right now. I'm really looking forward to those conversations. I do think that the phrase "I told you so" is underrated. Cam and I have joked about getting t-shirts that say "I told you so." But truly, I think when you look back, this is going to be one of those moments when everybody says, well, I should have bought more in 2023. Yeah, I think you should have. I know interest rates are 7%. I know that, 7% of a $700,000 home is a lot different than 15% of an $80,000 home. I get it. I get the cost and the challenges and the wage inequality. I understand all of the stuff that people can tell you to make excuses. And yet I know there's 24-year-olds out there that are scraping everything together to buy their first rental property or their first property period that they're going to turn into a rental. I know that there's people that have been putting seeds. They planted seeds 15 years ago, so they're harvesting them now, and they're planting more now, right? I'm excited to see those harvests come to fruition in a couple of years. I love wealth creation through real estate. There's some big wealth being created right now by people who aren't scared. They're cautious, but they're not. There are a lot of agents that are going to be getting out of the business. They've been in 20, 25 years. They've been through shifts. They've already gone through this one, but are going through it. But they're ready to be done, and they're looking for that way out. And they don't oftentimes know how to monetize their business, or they wait too long to start monetizing it into their next active life. And so I'm trying to connect with those agents through networking, through people I know of who's getting out there. Again, you have to have the same North Star. It's got to work in alignment. But then how do I bring them value in their business now before they move on to their next act, and then also afterwards to ensure that they're getting paid on this thing they've built for however many years. So yeah, I think whether you're an admin or a transaction coordinator or a solo agent or anybody, it's how do you bring value to somebody else? It's what's in it for them. They don't care about you. They do care about you as human beings, but ultimately they care about themselves, and they care about what they've built or what they're doing, what they're having for dinner, what life is going on in their life. So if you can make that life easier for somebody else, it will benefit you 100%.